They don't. And that's why it's so important to not put yourself in a box, back yourself up in a corner, because things coming in the future may not happen the way you expect them to. But if you know what the Lord's Word says, and you know about prophecy and what it says, then your faith's not going to be shaken. Because anyone who comes in His name saying, I am Christ, and you know that contradicts what the Bible says about the Lord's coming, then you know they're false. You know they're frauds. And so getting to the point where all of these things start to happen, just with daily events and things that happen, these are just roads to bring about the prophesied prophetic events in the Bible that are going to happen. We know that an image is going to be erected and enforced upon all the world to worship it. If they don't worship it, they're killed. And so we spend time on the political maneuverings or the people and the players that are making this happen and how it's going to come about, just so you can see these events unfolding. And so once it does, you're prepared for it.
Sherry?
Yeah.
You got a caller?
Okay, go ahead and put them on.
You're up, caller.
Hi, Sherry. It's Courtney from Indiana.
Hello, how are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
Oh, I'm doing real good.
I just got your book last weekend. I've almost finished reading it, so it's really good.
Oh, well, thank you.
Well, it was interesting. I got it at Barnes & Noble, and the lady there, I had to order it. She said that she had several people asking for it, so that was kind of neat.
Oh, that is neat. You know, what's funny is I announced on my blogger that Sun Tabloid has asked for a copy.
Really?
They're going to annihilate it in this tabloid, but it's going to be funny.
Yeah. She asked me if I'd seen it on TV, and I kind of laughing to myself, thinking they'd never let you on TV. She was just shocked and amazed that I hadn't seen it on TV. So
I've seen it on TV. I wonder why she would ask that.
She called it what did she call it? Obscure literature, because it was print on demand.
Yeah.
So
well, it is. Well, I stick to self-publishing because if I went with original publishers, I would not be allowed to have the stuff for free on my websites.
Mhm.
And there's no way I wouldn't offer it for free.
Yeah.
And so that's why I stick to doing things myself.
I really liked the first chapter because a lot of it struck a chord with myself, and you talked about your experience with church and stuff and just how it just felt unnatural.
Yeah.
And that's exactly how I've felt my entire life, basically. Just I loved God and everything, but I couldn't understand why I was just so disgusted with being there.
Yeah.
It made me feel guilty because, that's what you were supposed to do.
Yeah, you're going against the mainstream, and even as a child, you know something's wrong. But you've got everybody telling you you're supposed to do things this way, and you're going off and doing things your own way.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, I love a lot of your articles that have answered a lot of the questions that I've had most of my life. One question I still had, though, that I hadn't seen any information on was, what do you think about ghosts and haunted houses and how that fits in?
Well, there are disassociated spirits. Like if somebody dies in a house, if they had already claimed that house because demons are territorial, they will just stay in the house.
What about, like, small children and things like that?
Yeah, well, it's the same thing. Because, that child being born could have had generational curses, which means generational demons attached to it. So when a child dies, you can still have the demons from that child that remained.
Oh, okay. Well, that makes sense.
And so instead of having to go find another body to inhabit, they will just stay in these houses.
Okay.
And so they become what we call ghosts.
Do you, I just got my telescope out. Can you recommend where I could look for the planet? You said you can see it in the morning hours?
They can in Canada on the West Coast.
I'm sorry?
I don't know. I don't think we can see it on our half of the states yet.
Oh, okay.
I'm still waiting. There are people that say that they can see it on certain days. But I think as far as Ohio and on up east, and probably even Indiana, we haven't seen it yet.
Okay.
I know they have on the West Coast, and they have in Canada, and I have stuff on my website about it.
Mm-hmm.
And I know I see plenty in the skies that I think, well, is that it? Could that, could that be it? What's that new thing? And of course, I have so many UFOs around here. I don't know what's what.
Yeah.
I don't know what's a planet and what's a UFO,
Yeah.
Because they all mimic stars.
Yeah.
And so when I look at it at night and you see all these really low-laying stars compared to how high, stars really should be.
Yeah, I've been watching more closely.
Yeah.
trying to discern which is what. So
yeah, and so you just as far as the planets coming in, we know they're coming in. The dark twin of the sun, the dark star, which was the signal that the Antichrist's arrival was soon.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have the other ones. I've heard that there's a whole mini solar system from Orion that's come banging into our own.
Uh-huh.
It's not just one or two planets that we're looking at, Planet X and the others. There's a whole little mini solar system coming in.
Wow.
Yeah, and I didn't know about that one, and so that was kind of, and would make sense because Orion is Satan's seat in the skies.
Yeah.
And you'll hear some of these deceivers talk to you about how the Lord's heaven is actually in Orion, not our Lord's.
Yeah.
Not our Lord's heaven in Orion. And if you look at the one star, that whole constellation of Orion on the left tip called Betelgeuse, pronounced Betelgeuse, spelled Betelgeuse, but it's pronounced Betelgeuse, and it's a red star. And that one just always grosses me out. It's just,
That's the constellation that I can see pretty much every night right in front of my house. Is
Orion. And half the summer it looks like it's drunk, like it's going to tip over.
Yeah.
It's the largest constellation in the sky. It's in the sky 9 months out of 12.
Uh-huh.
And once people know what to look for, they can go out and see it all the time. And that's literally where Satan's seat in the skies is within Orion.
Have we heard of anything interesting happening yesterday from the eclipse or anything?
I haven't heard anything about it, just the occultic significance of it. The original Pope being born on one and then dying on the same, dying on one. It's just more or less, and you know what it is also too, as far as the witch circle goes, it's the occult where they cast a mean or evil, wicked curse on mankind. And so I'm sure they were all together casting curses on mankind. Because there's two different types. There's one where they cast a wicked curse, and then there's one where they cast a good blessing or whatever. And so yesterday's was the one where they were all getting together casting wicked curses on mankind. That's all I know about it.
Okay.
I'm not real occultic. I read. I don't agree with a lot of the things, a lot of his beliefs. But David Bay at Cutting Edge seems to have a lot of the good, info on occultic stuff.
All right, well, thanks for answering my questions. I've got plenty more. Unfortunately, I'm not at my house, so I can't ask them right now. I have a list of stuff for you, so I don't know if you're having listener call in next weekend or...
Yeah, I'm planning on it.
All righty, well, I will be calling in then.
All right, well, thanks for calling in.
Thanks so much.
All right, God bless. Listener call in, folks. 260-356-2611. Probably have time for one more caller for the night. One or two, depending on how many questions you have. But call in the last 10 minutes of the show. 260-356-2611. Let's see. Back to where I was just in detailing Revelation 13, and another thing I want to bring up, folks, about this national ID card, and I'll say it over and over and over again. If it ever gets to the point where you have a retinal eye scan and fingerprint requirement, do not do it. Be prepared before ahead of time that this is going to something that could come about, because this national ID card, in combination with the requirements for a retinal ID.
Sherry?
Yeah.
You have a caller?
Okay.
You're up, caller.
Hey, Sherry, this is Mike. How you doing?
Hey, Mike. How you doing?
Pretty good. I was wanting to ask you about something I got hit with this week, and I ain't been able to get anybody to answer for me. In the Bible where it says the number of the